Losing time, I'm fading fast. I just wanna make it last. Try to let go of the past. I close my eyes, embrace the blast. Sleepless nights and headaches stack. Restlessness to hell and back.
Out of all the ultra-level camera phones this year, this is probably the one I was most excited about. The leaks sounded almost too wild to believe, but after actually getting my hands on the Find X9 Ultra, I was genuinely surprised. It really delivers on those expectations. And honestly, the resemblance is uncanny. If you hid the OPPO branding, you might easily mistake it for something from Hasselblad. I'm only half joking. This particular unit comes in the Ground Explorer color, and if you're into photography, the inspiration will be obvious right away. It clearly pays tribute to the Hasselblad X2D 100C Ground Explorer Edition. The square layout, carefully balanced proportions, authentic Hasselblad branding, and that bold orange shutter accent, it all comes together beautifully. Even before talking about camera performance, just holding it gives you that photographer's vibe. It almost feels like your skills get an instant boost just by picking it up.
A quick shout out to my tech partner from China for sharing this video. A big thank you for making this possible. Hey everyone, it's Maiky from techmaiky. If you love staying updated with the latest gadgets, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss out our exciting tech content.
What really stands out is OPPO's attention to detail on this Ultra model. The 4 lenses, each different in size and shape, are neatly unified under the blacked-out lens cover, creating a clean and structured layout. Around the edges, there's a finely crafted metal ring with a gear-like texture, and even the microphone is subtly hidden within the design. Add in those circular highlights, and the whole camera module looks balanced and premium. Despite packing all this hardware, the camera bump isn't overly aggressive. The materials feel just as refined as they look. The back uses a vegan leather finish, while the frame has a smooth, matte metal texture. Together, they create a feel that's reminiscent of a dedicated camera, but more comfortable for everyday use. If this bold look isn't your style, there are also more minimal options, inspired by natural elements like icy landscapes and canyon tones. The cleaner white and orange colorways offer a more subtle aesthetic, while still keeping that premium feel. Now, as mentioned earlier, OPPO isn't trying to make just a camera-first device that compromises everything else. This is a full-fledged flagship. The specs are solid across the board, and nothing feels held back. One area that really deserves attention is the display. It's a 6.82-inch flat panel with ultra-slim 1.4mm bezels, powered by BOE's X3 materials and OPPO's own Display P3 Pro chip. You get a sharp 2K resolution along with a super smooth 144Hz refresh rate. In testing, it reaches around 820 nits in full-screen brightness and peaks at 1850 nits, putting it right up there with the best flagship displays. At the same time, it doesn't ignore eye comfort. The color temperature adjusts intelligently depending on your environment, and the 2160 Hz PWM dimming is especially helpful for users sensitive to flicker. It can even go as low as 1 nit brightness and carries TUV Rhineland certification, making it much easier on the eyes in darker conditions. Of course, using any phone in complete darkness isn't ideal, but it's nice to see this level of care. Performance-wise, it's powered by the Snapdragon 8 Gen 5 Elite, paired with OPPO's Tide engine. You also get a massive 7050 mAh battery, 100-watt wired fast charging, and 50-watt wireless charging. So whether it's speed or endurance, this phone doesn't fall short. Alright, with the overall setup covered, let's get back to the real highlight, the cameras. Building on the already well-balanced Find X8 Ultra, OPPO has pushed things further with a full upgrade across every lens. The improvements aren't just on paper, you can actually see them in the results. Starting with the main camera, it uses Sony's flagship Light YT9001 sensor. This is a 1/1.12-inch sensor with 200 megapixels and a 23mm focal length. The aperture has been widened to 1.5, so even though it's not a full 1-inch sensor, it actually captures about 10% more light than before. Next up is the mid-range telephoto, and this is where things get really interesting. OPPO has managed to fit a 1/1.28-inch sensor with an f2.2 aperture into a 3x zoom range. That's impressive. The large sensor and aperture create a soft, natural depth of field, while the 200 megapixel resolution keeps everything incredibly detailed. You also get macro shooting as close as 15 centimeters and optical image stabilization. This setup uses the OV52A sensor with a 70mm equivalent focal length. At this point, it's fair to say the Find X9 Ultra is pushing mobile telephoto photography to a new level. Even the ultra-wide camera hasn't been overlooked. It uses the familiar light YT600 sensor with 50-megapixel resolution, a 1/1.95-inch size, and an f2.0 aperture at 14mm. Compared to the previous generation, light intake improved by 56%, which is a big jump. Honestly, even with just these 3 lenses, this phone already feels competitive at the highest level. And we haven't even talked about the 10x telephoto yet. That's coming up next. Before that, let's look at some real-world comparisons. For reference, we brought in the Samsung Galaxy S26 Ultra, another flagship with a 200-megapixel main camera. In bright daylight, when you zoom in slightly, the Find X9 Ultra clearly pulls ahead in resolution. You get finer details and fewer artificial processing artifacts compared to the S26 Ultra. This isn't just about hardware, it's also thanks to smart dynamic resolution adjustments. When lighting is good and the subject isn't moving much, the camera automatically leverages higher pixel counts for better clarity instead of relying on manual switching. At its native focal length, the 200-megapixel sensor captures an impressive amount of detail even in wide shots. You can zoom in and still see textures clearly. Another advantage of that high resolution is flexibility. If you prefer shooting at 35mm or 50mm, you can crop in without worrying about losing quality. Up to 3x zoom, the sensor handles motion, color, and detail extremely well. By comparison, the Samsung's 3x zoom just can't keep up. Its 10-megapixel sensor struggles here, and honestly, it doesn't even match the quality of the Find X9 Ultra's front camera.
When shooting at 3x zoom, the OPPO Find X9 Ultra really holds its ground. It even manages to create a natural sense of depth at longer distances, which is impressive. On the other hand, the 5x native zoom on the Samsung Galaxy S26 Ultra doesn't really make much of a difference here. That's exactly why I call this phone the ceiling. It sets a new benchmark. Now, when it comes to ultra-wide shots, the improvement isn't as dramatic, but you can still notice a clear bump in resolution compared to the S26 Ultra. Against its previous generation, the real upgrade comes from a more refined HDR algorithm. The difference becomes especially obvious when you view the images on an LCD screen. For the next few sample shots, I'm going to remove all watermarks so you can judge purely based on what you see. Just go with your gut and pick the one you think looks best, then drop your answer in the comments. Alright, time for the reveal. Image A was taken by the Samsung S26 Ultra, B comes from the iPhone 17 Pro Max, and C is from the Find X9 Ultra. I'm guessing most of you lean towards C, and honestly, that's not surprising. This built-in optical setup really delivers, especially once you go beyond 10x zoom. The quality jump is noticeable. Because the hardware is so strong, even after zooming in heavily, the image processing stays controlled and avoids those messy artifacts you often see. Some people might say they rarely use 10x zoom and wonder why it's even necessary. But think about it. Maybe the reason you don't use it is because your previous phones simply couldn't produce good results at that range. OPPO's idea here is pretty clear. Your phone should be a creative tool that empowers you, not something that limits you based on focal length compromises. Once 10x quality becomes reliable, it opens up a lot of possibilities. Whether it's snapping something across a classroom, capturing moments at a concert, or zooming in at the zoo, your phone suddenly becomes much more versatile. Sure, it's not used as often as wide or mid-range lenses, but it completes the entire imaging system. Keeping a balanced progression across focal lengths matters just as much. So how did OPPO even fit such a powerful telephoto system into an already packed flagship? Traditionally, telephoto lenses require length, which is a problem in a slim smartphone body. Early solutions used a prism to bend light sideways onto a vertically placed sensor. This is how the first periscope designs worked. But as sensors grew larger, that approach hit physical limits. The next step was double reflection, allowing the sensor to sit flat and easing thickness constraints. But pushing all the way to 10x zoom introduces new challenges, not just thickness, but also internal space and layout. That's where OPPO took things further. Instead of stopping at 2 reflections, they rethought the entire light path. The result is a more advanced periscope system inspired by Hasselblad optics. Inside the Find X9 Ultra, the light path is engineered to maximize space efficiency while maintaining optical precision. On top of that, the prism undergoes semiconductor-level cutting and nano-coating. This creates an extremely thin air interface that helps reduce stray light using dielectric differences. It's a highly technical solution, but the result is cleaner, more controlled images. This isn't the first time we've seen a 10x optical zoom on a phone, but the combination of a large sensor and an f3.5 aperture at this level is something we haven't really seen before. Whether anything will surpass it soon is still up in the air, but if you look back at the evolution of smartphone telephoto systems, OPPO has consistently been pushing boundaries, from early high magnification setups to periscope and dual periscope designs. Now, you might be wondering, since the main, telephoto, and super telephoto cameras all use sensors from different manufacturers, how do they keep colors consistent? That's where OPPO's second-generation original color sensor comes in. This new multispectral sensor features 24 spectral channels and supports DCG HDR, significantly improving dynamic range and color accuracy. On paper, its 3.2 megapixel resolution might not sound impressive, but resolution isn't what matters. What really counts is the number of channels and pixel size for accurate color sampling. It's also built on a more efficient 40 nanometer process, upgraded from 90 nanometers, which improves power efficiency. This allows it to actively assist with color calibration in both photos and videos, and you can see the results. In earlier comparisons, the Find X9 Ultra consistently showed better color control. When you look at large areas of solid color, the difference becomes even more obvious. In most test scenarios, its color reproduction is simply more accurate. With color accuracy handled, the next step is making images look more expressive, and this is where OPPO really leans into HDR. The Find X9 Ultra supports full-chain HDR processing, something that still stands out in the Android space. For creative shooting, Master Mode and X-Version mode continue to be signature features. With just one tap, you can capture rich, cinematic-looking images, or switch to a 2.35:1 widescreen format for more storytelling impact. This time, OPPO has also introduced a digital film system within Master Mode. You get a range of presets that mimic different film styles, from soft, low-contrast tones like Hey Guan to more vintage, textured looks like Chimera. Whether you're shooting wide scenes or focusing on distant subjects, there's a style that fits your mood. Beyond presets, there's also plenty of room for customization. You can tweak settings before and after shooting, share your own styles, and even import looks in multiple ways. If you're into film aesthetics or textured visuals, this system is definitely worth exploring. On the video side, the hardware upgrades are immediately noticeable. Stabilization in particular is incredibly smooth. It almost feels like you're using a gimbal. But what really stands out is the push towards professional-grade recording. While many phones can shoot in 8K, very few support 8K 10-bit log. The Find X9 Ultra does. It also handles 4K at 120 FPS in 10-bit, giving creators much more flexibility. OPPO has even introduced a new imaging system called G2. It prioritizes dynamic range and mid-tone detail, resulting in footage that may look slightly darker at first glance, but preserves highlights much better and keeps more information for post-processing.
The overall contrast and tonal transitions here are handled much more smoothly, which gives you extra flexibility when editing and opens the door for more creative work. It's clear that OPPO has professional users in mind. That's why the OPPO Find X9 Ultra comes with built-in LUT recovery and even allows you to import your own LUT files. And it's not limited to previewing. You can actually bake those LUTs directly into your footage. For anyone working with LOG and high dynamic range video, this makes the whole workflow faster and far more convenient when it comes to restoring colors and sharing content. In the Pro Video mode, you can switch between SDR and HDR directly, and the color science you get is probably the closest we've seen on a phone to Hasselblad's signature look. For users who want to push things even further, OPPO has also introduced a dedicated Hasselblad professional camera kit for the Find X9 Ultra. This setup includes a protective case designed for extended use, a filter adapter ring, a shoulder strap, and a sturdy handheld grip. The highlight of that kit is the Hasselblad Ultra teleconverter lens. It's roughly the length of a smartphone, but packs in 16 glass elements, extending the 70mm lens all the way to 300mm. It's a serious piece of optical engineering that really shows what this system is capable of. OPPO has also included thoughtful extras like a tripod mount ring, a heat shield, and a carrying case. Once you check out the sample shots, you'll get a real sense of this optical collaboration with Hasselblad. Moving on to the software side, the phone runs on ColorOS 16. After about 6 months of refinement, it feels smoother and more stable than ever, and user feedback has been overwhelmingly positive. There are also some fresh features introduced with this device, including a redesigned lock screen island. It brings a cleaner and more visually appealing Proud Wolf mode, along with a more dynamic and engaging immersive mode. Switching between them feels fluid and seamless. If you love traveling, there's another interesting addition. ColorOS 16 can now act almost like a personal travel assistant. It intelligently pulls together key information like transportation routes, fixed schedules, and activity planning, essentially creating a customized travel guide right on your phone. On top of that, OPPO's continued work in system optimization and AI have clearly paid off. A lot of these improvements happen behind the scenes, so you might not notice them immediately, but they do make a difference in everyday use. To really appreciate them, you'll probably want to explore the system yourself. So, to wrap things up, how do you define OPPO's top-tier camera flagship this year? The best way to describe it is as an optical leap forward driven by OPPO and Hasselblad. When you compare its camera system to other so-called Ultra models, many of them suddenly don't feel quite as impressive. What makes this device stand out isn't just pushing the limits of mobile photography, it also raises the baseline. It makes high-quality photography more accessible even for everyday users. In a way, it puts that level of capability into your hands. At the same time, don't forget, it's still a smartphone. It isn't just a camera-focused device trying to sell itself on one feature. It's a well-rounded flagship with very few compromises. We're already working on a full comparison between Ultra models, but even now, this is one I'd confidently recommend. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.